Good afternoon. This summer, I've had the blessing of being able to be a camp counselor at this camp called Variety the Children's Charity. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Whether you've been to a summer camp or whether you've worked at one, you think it's kind of the same idea. Is you're following a bunch of booger eaters around to the pool, or you're taking them to the picnic table for fruit snacks. And really, this totally warped my views of what summer camp really was. This wasn't a typical summer camp. This was one organization of the entire organization. Variety the Children's Charity is international, worldwide, as well as it is national and communal. This little guy, Josh Ritchie, was my buddy this summer at Variety Adventure Camp. He's 4 years old and he suffers with Down syndrome and complete deafness, so he uses hearing aids. Because I had to become trained and mastered before I could even work with Josh and have access to this child from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., I had to pass the test and I had to become completely exercised on the program, which gives me what I feel like is enough credibility to be able to explain my views on this program and the children that I worked with. Today we're going to talk about the history of Variety, which is what I'm going to call it, as well as the output of the company internationally and communally. First, let's start by looking at the history. The Variety headquarters page tells us the story of a Christmas Eve in 1928, where we had a baby girl who was found, an infant, on a seat of the Sheridan Square Theater in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. There was a note that was pinned to her dress that said, "I have 9 kids, I can't take care of this child, but I know that the people in the entertainment business will take care of this child, so I'm trusting you guys with my baby." So what happened was, when all efforts failed to find her parents, this baby's parents, these 11 gentlemen who were affiliated with the entertainment industry through this theater financially adopted this child. They underwrote the support of her and academic support of her as she was being raised. But just 1 year prior to finding the baby, that these 11 men had established a group called Variety. And the reason why they called it Variety was because it was a bunch of people that were in the entertainment field, but from different branches. And they rented up a small club room in the William Penn Hotel, and then that's where they hosted this Variety Club. Because of this, they named the child Catherine Variety Sheridan. Sheridan for the theater, Variety for their club that they had just established. The new 11 Godfathers, as they were being called, including the theater owner, who is John H. Harris, also became the first president of Variety International as well. They were proud that this random woman entrusted the theater people with her child. And because of that, this resulted in tons of publicity throughout the nation. The Variety became on the front pages of every local newspaper around. Tons of people in the entertainment industry wanted to help, and eventually this club room that they rented became too small. Soon, they had tons of donations coming in for Catherine, and what happened was the other underprivileged children in the area reaped benefits of Catherine's overflow and excess of goods coming in, and what happened was disabled kids and underprivileged kids kind of took on what Catherine had a lot of. We're going to talk about the output internationally now that we've talked about the history. One of the things that Variety is involved in is the Variety International Children's Fund. The Variety International page tells us that what this does is this program executes Variety's mission, which is to change the lives of children all around the world, wherever they may be. So their first stop when they executed this in 2010 was in Haiti after the huge earthquake that had happened. Specifically Pestel, which is a city in Haiti. With already magnified needs, this earthquake just completely magnified that to an extreme. In 2010 alone, they had reached 12,000 children when they were trying to reach 20,000. And that's their goal, and that's what they plan on getting. The Vitamin A campaign, 25,000 tablets of anti-parasitical medications were given to these children, and they interviewed 300 families, and 80% of the families said that they had noticed significant changes. The parasites were being removed from their children, and this happens through impoverished situations such as lack of good sources of water and food and living situations. And then the anemia effort, which is it kind of tags along with the vitamin A. They give them tablets of medication, reduces the anemia, same output. Output communally, we're going to talk about 3 things: the Adventure Winter Summer Camp, and then the equipment that the Variety donates, and the theater program. Adventure Winter and Summer Camp. This little guy, Josh, who we're coming back to, all these pictures I took myself and had permission to use. I am using him as an example to talk about what all the kids had an opportunity to do. They had an opportunity to rock climb, ice skate, and play musical instruments with a licensed musical therapist. Also, the fire department and police department came in, and that's kind of cool for the children to get an opportunity to play with. We're going to talk about Matt and Zach Sutherland. Variety gave them equipment such as the lift for their van, as well as these wheelchairs that they're sitting in on the right page. The average wheelchair goes for about $22,000, the electric one, so Variety gave that to them. It was a huge relief for the family. Also, they got these accessible bicycles. And then Josh received his first bike helmet. We're going to talk about the theater and the choir. They do have a children's theater and they have a children's choir. They just recently put on a production of Annie, which is actually a legit production. It's not just like a children's theater. It's like a legit production, so it's definitely worthwhile for the kids. Okay, so today we've talked about the history of Variety as well as the output internationally and communally. Thank you again for tuning into my presentation and enjoy the rest of your day.